you guys watch this short clip of this episode of Put a Ring on It. This is how the media tends to twist things when it comes to a totally logical explanation on this man saying how he's a high value man, the value he brings into the world, and what she does to kind of twist this and flip it back on him. Take a look.
What makes you think you're a high value man? The car you drive?
Nah.
Bad, what up with y'all? I had to bring y'all another one from a show from the OWN network, Oprah's network, called Put a Ring on It. And we got this scallywag, 10 pounds of makeup wearing broad right here that's already coming in disingenuous with her questions. She couldn't just ask what makes you a high value man, period. She had to say what makes you a high value man and then change the narrative by talking about things he has. Now, let's watch. Let's just sit back, relax, while we scrutinize this.
The value I put out into the world.
What about your character?
I have great character. I've built myself to basically have better choices. You want to know why? Because women can choose and make a choice.
They can.
They can say, I don't want to date a man that makes less than 6 figures.
They can.
And then what are you doing? You're
But we're not
demeaning a man.
talking about that.
Women
That's
can
not
talk
the
about
situation
things.
at hand.
Listen, hold
That's
on.
not
A
the
woman can say, I
conversation.
won't date a man less than 5'8", and the man could be 5'4". Do they care about
What does that have to do
ostracizing all of those
with
men?
anything?
If a fat man is sitting here, he can be a fat man, right? But if a fat woman is sitting here, you would say, oh no, we're body positive. Oh, no, we can't say that. We can't. It's all about picking her up. So every time it's saying something for a man,
Bro,
it's down.
you got a lot on your back.
Yeah, about the only thing he has on his back is a room full of scallywag hyena broads trying to jump on him. Now, let me start here. She asked the man what made him a high-value man. He goes to explain. He says the energy he puts into the world, the way he built himself up. Kudos. You're sticking with logic. You're sticking with facts. She goes right into what about your character? Well, he already said what he puts into the world. Then you got the other scallywag broad want to jump in there talking about some, that's not what we were talking about. That's not even what we were saying. So let me just hip y'all to some game. When the scallywag broad is in behind closed doors, that brawling woman that the scriptures say will run you to the corner of the rooftop, you stick with logic, you stick with facts, because that's going to hurt them every time. Don't get emotional with them. Don't stoop to the level of their game, because this is a perfect example of how a man should deal with a woman who is trying to come at him with her emotional foolishness. Just continue to watch how he deals with him, how he handles himself.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
so what I
I'm just
want to be
I'm just saying
clear,
equal
not
rights.
just for you, but for everybody out there, is the car you drive, your resume, your bank account, your accolades is not what makes you a high value man.
Yeah.
Listen to the, just take a listen to the big mama energy coming out of her, out of the host here, and the little sisters that are echoing in the background. Because this is what most young boys have to grow up with. Their sisters watch their big mama energy having single mama who hit in the wall, who couldn't make it last with their father. Watch them just be the first ones that tear a man down just like this and go at him because they think they can teach something so much. And then the sister learns the behavior. And then it goes into relationships. And then these young men take the same habits and they think, oh, that's just relationship stuff. That's just how it should go. Bickering back and forth and having all these issues. And then you get behind closed doors and you can't handle a woman talking down on you. And then it turns into something violent and physical and you're locked up. And so to avoid jail time and prison time and domestic disputes behind closed doors, you better learn the makeup of yourself, a man, and the makeup and the dynamics of a woman ASAP. Because they are talking all around the facts and the logic, and they're making it an emotional discussion. She asked this man specifically what makes him a high-value man. She didn't like his answer. She didn't like that he gave facts. So then she started to say and give answers that brought in emotional balance and sense as it pertains to what she has built in her mind, and try to make it a broader thing with men and women, trying to debunk Kevin Samuels.
Some of our deeds and our character, and you, brother, are coming up to the sum of zero.
So, wow, Big Mama Fatback here with the, fake face on, the mask on. She has gotten pleasure out of the power that she has as the host and playing Big Mama energy, she's getting a kick out of scolding. See his face right now? How he looks like a little boy? How, he can, somebody may think he's beta at this moment because, this is like mama scolding him behind closed doors. And see, little sister gets a chance to sit back and observe and learn the behavior. See, I told y'all, when you don't have a wife behind closed doors and you get behind closed doors and realize you don't have a wife, you're going to have one or two things: a big mama energy or a little sister energy. And they both are nags. See, a real wife, the Holy Spirit, a Ruth, a Proverbs 31 woman, she knows how to truly help and support. She knows how to remind you of the things that you promised her and taught her, a part of the curriculum, because she was truly a student to begin with. And she brings back to your remembrance what you promised her in the curriculum. This impresses you as her Lord, as her master, as her husband, as her man. But see, a foolish woman will nag you, and she'll push you away in a way that at some point, if you should break, even the presence of her will be like a rottenness stench, like rottenness in someone's bones. You have to understand their tactics. You have to understand that they want you to be emotional. At least that's what they think they want. They want you to have emotional intelligence, and they want you to be able to open up to them and this, that, and the other. But more often than not, when you get really, really deep and sensitive to them like that and bare your all, that's usually when you lose respect. Real leaders can't worry about what the village thinks, what the house thinks. They have to make the toughest decision. And a lot of times they only know how to measure things by emotions and materials. That's why they can't accept his answer.
So as you saw in that clip, she totally tried to flip the narrative. He said nothing of what she tried to pin and switch off on him. And so that's why sometimes we have to be mindful of what we actually see versus what we hear. And then she turned around and called him a zero at the end of the process when everything he said was actually very logical.
Very logical indeed. And it makes me look at the late, great Kevin Samuels, who often talked about high value man. And one of the main things is that it was the fact that it was a fraternity. It was a group, and they identify with each other. And that's the whole point. That once you reach a certain amount of success in life and a certain just aura that you are accepted and welcomed in, and you're able to be noticed that way to where it cannot be denied. And a lot of these women don't like this. And so the main reason that they don't like this is because it forces them to have something to be compared to, number one, which exposes that they need change. He mentioned weight. He mentioned a lot of things, but that weight, how you can sit a fat woman on the couch, you can sit a fat man on the couch, and the second that fat woman is on the couch, oh, girl, you still beautiful, and all this other stuff, all this capping crap. But if that man is on that couch, he better be a millionaire. He better be making a whole lot. He better be driving something nice, because you ain't giving him a second glance. But then you cap and act like it's about character. And so as what you'll find out and what you'll come to realize is the same thing Kevin Samuels came to realize and his audience came to realize, which is what is really exposed these broads. And that's that there is a wall, such thing as a wall. And when they meet that wall, it is undefeated. Because at the end of the day, the more that man builds himself, then those options are presented. It exposes that they are not qualified, therefore they become defensive. So, brothers, I appreciate the women that stand up for us the best they can. Shout out to the young lady who shared this video and narrated it. If there's anything you can learn from this video is keep a mental note of this man's face. Remember how they treated him, Big Mama and Little Sister, how they wanted to punk him into submission because they knew they did not qualify for the results. Because one thing you should never do is play doctor to a patient or play builder to a project. that wears you down in relationship when you should be having someone fill your cup just as you're filling theirs. They should be replenishing you when you run through your finish line, not stealing your trophy and your results and your benefits when you run through that line. But I'm out, baby.